Hello, and welcome to Effervescent, where we embrace a full circle approach to health. Before we get into today's topic, Kinley is going to lead us into the breath work. So, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, take this time for yourself.
Cool. And did we test the mics we're on?
Yeah.
Hopefully. Do we want to check?
Yeah.
Okay, for today's, before we breathe, I want you to trust whatever comes to your mind when I ask you this question. The very first thing that comes to your mind. So when I say the word calm, if you were to give it a color, what color would you give the word calm? And you don't have to say it, just that instant color. And now go ahead and close your eyes. You can keep them open if you need to, but this one's best to do if your eyes are closed. And take an inhale and imagine on the inhale that you're breathing in that color. And you're watching it travel through your body, filling your lungs. And then exhale. We're going to do it again. Inhale a little bit deeper, the color of calm. And then exhale, set down everything you've been carrying. And then one more breath, the biggest breath so far. Breathe in the calm color, filling your body with a soft body so more breath can get in. And then exhale, let go of everything that you carried. Okay.
I love that. Thank you. Okay. Today was interesting because at first I thought I was going to do like nutrition basics. And then I was like thinking about what episodes we have talked about or what, topics we have already hit on. And I feel like a lot of our episodes, especially if you guys haven't listened to the Ozempic one, that one was really interesting. We gave a lot of insights and good points. We talked a lot about emotional eating and how we didn't even realize that we do it or you did it prior to being on Ozempic. Is it Ozempic? I don't know if it's called that, whatever. Yeah, GLP-1. Anyways, the only reason why I'm saying that is because I was sitting there thinking about my own struggles with emotional eating that I've realized that I've had ever since I was young, I think. And the more I practice stillness and the more I've practiced yoga and being in my body, it really has almost come to the surface of like, oh, I have struggled with that. This is something that is I just have the awareness now. And we've talked about that before where it's like you don't even know if you have a problem or if you have something to fix if you don't even know you have it. You don't even have the awareness of it. And so I've actually been appreciating like, oh, I have the awareness now that this is something I've struggled with. And I want this to be almost conversational, but I was going to give more of like a background, but I'm sitting here like, there's not a ton of a background I can give besides I've noticed when I'm stressed, when I don't know what I'm going to do in the day, when I'm lost. It's not like a conscious, oh, I'm going to turn to food and I'm going to, for lack of a better word, I'm going to binge or anything like that. It's not necessarily that. And if you are sensitive to these types of topics, there are tons of other episodes you can go listen to. But it's more like I was eating to procrastinate the other things I wanted to do in my life. And especially when I felt lost, I'm just like, oh, I'll just like make a meal and then I'll feel better or whatever. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I started reading this book by, is it Julia Cameron, the one that does The Artist's Way? So I stole it from Mom's office, and it's I talked about it before in a past episode, but it talks about writing for weight loss. And I was like, okay, that's too interesting. Like, I just have to see what she says because, like, I love journaling. I love health and wellness. Like, I just got to see. And truly, like, you don't even have to read the full book to know the main message is, hey, write because then you're aware of your feelings and then you will automatically, start to lose weight. And I thought that really tied into emotional eating. And so I guess this is a tip, but I wanted to talk about it at the beginning. What she recommends is keeping a food journal, but it's not like, oh, the calories, macros, whatever you're going to do. It's like, just write something down before you eat. And you can write about how you feel. You can write about what you're thinking in your head or like what you need to do in the day. And I realized that every time I was about to eat, it was like, oh, I'm really stressed about something that's coming up, or like it was always like a feeling of anxiety and anxiousness, and something that should be like nourishing and fun and exciting is like really stressful, like underneath it all. Like I didn't even notice that like I really did have that much anxiety around that until I did it, and then I was like, wow, that it was so interesting.
That is interesting.
Isn't that? Yeah.
'Cause
I read.
done-
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I read. I don't think I finished the book. I do that a lot. I start a million
Same.
books. I don't finish them, but I did read at least some of that. Or she mentioned it in one of her other books. She has a lot of books, but I remember her saying in her class it wasn't even an intentional thing that she was trying to teach. It's just
Yes.
that when she taught people about morning pages, an unintentional outcome
Yes.
was that people started losing weight. And so she was trying to figure out what is the connection here. And I think it is so interesting.
cool.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly kind of the beginning of the book, is like I just noticed when people took my course, they changed. Like they just started losing weight, and it wasn't even their intention. And you always say this. This is kind of woo, but no, I believe this a lot, and I just love when you say that. I think it's cute. But I think, especially with this day and age, we consume. We are very much in a consumer mindset. We are consuming content, lots of good food, consuming clothes, buying whatever. Like I just feel like that's a huge, what is that? Like state of mind we've been conditioned to be in. And I've noticed that when you flip to the creator mindset instead of consuming, you're able to just like let things go. And instead of like holding on to everything, whether it's physical weight, whether it's emotional weight, like as soon as you're able to just write out your feelings or create whatever, I just believe humans were here to create, and the modern world is not really allowing you to do that as often. And I don't know, that's just kind of a mindset I had of like, maybe it's like a hypothesis of why that is working so well, is because we're here to create and let go and release things out into the world instead of like hold on to things.
That's interesting. This reminds me of, I think I've said it in another episode, but my friend Tiff told me every time you want to get on Instagram, it's not about food, it's about Instagram, but it's similar. She's like, just open your notes and write down what you're feeling. And it was the same thing. It was, I'm stressed, I'm going there. Or I'm overwhelmed, I'm going there.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting.
Yeah.
Like the mindfulness really, it's like a very easy way to approach mindfulness too.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, I have to meditate, it's like very practical. Open your notes and write a sentence. It doesn't matter what the sentence is, just open your
Just
notes.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think obviously, so I'm technically the body, in this podcast, but I wanted to bring in nutrition to this because I think a lot of people get shamed in terms of like, oh, you just need more willpower to eat less. And you just need to like lock in, and you just need to like diet harder and all this like diet culture stuff. And I always will say, like, obviously there's the science behind losing weight. I don't deny that science, but there's so many more things that I don't feel like personal trainers or people in the fitness community ever talk about when it comes to eating and nutrition, which is like 80% of the way there, besides like going to the gym, is like getting healthy, is the nutrition is the 80%. And it just like has always kind of bothered me because I'm just like, I know how to be fit and healthy, and I've looked into it, and yet I still struggle sometimes with overeating. So it's like, obviously it's not a knowledge thing, or it's not a willpower thing. Like I get to the gym every single day. It's like it's so much deeper than that. And I think people will use whatever they can to feel better, especially when they're in a stressed environment. And sometimes that's food, sometimes that's, other vices. And everyone has their own things, but I just think it doesn't get talked about as much as like, hey, let's heal the root cause, which is kind of the problem with a lot of America, is not healing the root cause as to why you're wanting to overeat and overindulge and stuff. So
I'd even say I struggle with undereating. But then it switches to overeating at night. And you've actually taught me about this, but I think you should say it, why that happens.
Yeah. So, and then I'll ask you guys these questions too, because I keep forgetting to like rope you guys in, but
I always have remembered when you told me this gremlin or
ghrelin.
this
Yes.
word.
Yes. So this actually,
like
thank you for
gremlin.
saying
I just say
it sounds like gremlin.
And that's
Yeah.
what I remember. So I'm like, okay.
Yes.
I
No,
want
thank you for
gremlin.
saying that, because this is actually a really good thing to learn. And once I learned this too, I was like, wow, that has changed me too. Okay, so your hunger hormone is called ghrelin, right? It really does sound like a gremlin. And it kind of is in a way. So the longer that you don't eat, or especially the longer you're in a calorie deficit, but let's say you're not a person that wakes up and is hungry, and then, or let's say like you ate a lot the night before, so you're like, I'm just not going to eat, whatever the case is as to why you're not eating. You wait super long, right? And then you're like, oh, I'm doing good, let me just have food, right? Totally fine. Here's the problem with that. Ghrelin will start, like the levels in your body will start raising. Your brain will start being like, hey, I don't have food. I don't have food. And it will start like upticking that hormone to make you more and more hungry. So then by the time you finally eat, it's like, oh, I'm not going to stop eating. Like I can't, type of a thing.
I can't tell when I'm full.
Yes, I can't tell when I'm full because I'm still like emotionally, hormonally hungry. And I feel like as a woman, you kind of understand like the hormonal hungry versus like the physically hungry. At least for me, like when I'm about to start my period, I'm like, I will be physically full and yet I will still feel hungry. So that is why, I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but that's why a lot of, I wouldn't say it's a fad. It is it's a good tip, but it's kind of, it just got really trendy in like the health wellness space is, what is it, 30, 30, 30 or something. It's like eat 30 grams of protein within 30 minutes of waking up or something like that. But you don't have to follow necessarily that. The reason why they say that is so you can actually, so protein is super satiating. It's just better than, carbs and fats in terms of feeling full and satisfied. And so when you eat protein right in the morning, your body's like, oh, I'm really full, I feel satisfied, and I won't uptick that ghrelin until you eat. And obviously there's some people, this is where I kind of am like a little hesitant to say that, because here's the thing, I also believe in parts of intuitive eating so much, where it's like, if you truly are not hungry in the morning, don't force feed yourself. Okay.
Well, and I also am wondering, I have a good friend right now that's doing a long fast, and I believe there's a lot of good benefits
Yes, there
for
is.
fasting.
We
So
should do an episode on fasting.
where does that ghrelin come in? I know this is kind of a really deep, hard question that maybe we just don't know the answer to right away, but there's the ghrelin, there's intuitive eating, there's the fasting, and it seems to all be important. How does that relate to one another? I don't know the answer, but I know people that, there are people that just study fasting specifically, and it's interesting.
But I feel like that's where intuition comes in. It's like, yes, all of them are good, but there's, I wish I could say this from who it's from. It's like a proverb or something. Or like Buddha said, like poison is anything in excess. I don't know if it's Buddha, and I feel bad not knowing the source, but anything in excess, that's what poison is. Like fasting is good. And eating protein is good.
Yeah.
And all of it is good.
Unless
you're like not wanting it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely, to both of what you guys are saying. And I was going to actually bring up fasting. So, so fasting, yes, there's lots of studies to show that fasting is awesome. So it's like, this is the more what I'm saying with the ghrelin and the waking up and eating protein, that's more like your everyday today life on if you're not on like a regimen or if you're not like truly fasting. And yeah, people will say once they do, so people do like days of fasting, which I'm like, I don't even know how you do that.
Yeah,
but
my friend's on like doing 7 right now.
7?
Yeah.
Oh,
I have
my
a few friends
gosh.
that, both guys, actually, 2 male friends that they swear on it, like once a year they do kind of a cleansing kind of a thing, not all the time, but like a cleansing.
I really do want to do an episode on this.
We should. I'll
there's
look into it
spiritual
more.
fasting, physical fasting.
Yeah.
And there's Lent. So in the Christian religion, it's not always fasting, but
Is it Christian?
I think it's Christian. I don't know. No. Maybe I should cut this out. I don't know. Don't listen to me. It's just the idea of, there's actually a few religions that do it, but it's the idea of kind of giving up something. And that's more of the spiritual aspect of like, yeah, I'm giving up the food, making a sacrifice for spiritual wellness, but there also is physical there's physical attributes to that too that help a lot with your body. Like your body really it goes into repair mode and then it starts repairing stuff because the energy isn't taken to break down stuff in your stomach, you know? Yes. So that's what I'll say too is like what I'm talking about is more like day-to-day, everyday life. That's just how ghrelin works. But obviously, if you're on a fast or if you just truly are not hungry until 12 p.m., like that's okay. I will say, sorry, the last thing, I will say when it comes to that, you are actually able to train your body. So it's like, let's say you almost always don't eat until 12 p.m. Your body will just be like, oh, I know that I'm going to get food at 12 p.m. So I would probably, I haven't like seen a study, but I would guess that your ghrelin hormones don't raise so often because it's like, it's normal. Oh, she's going to feed me at 12 p.m. That's just my regular schedule. And that's what people that will do intermittent fasting will say to do. They'll say to push your eating window up like 30 minutes. And so then by the time you're fasting for 16 hours every day, it's not so hard instead of just doing it like right at once,
Like
which
running
people
a
do that.
marathon on the spot.
Yeah, exactly. Which people do that. And I actually saw an Andrew Huberman podcast that talked about that too of like, hey, just push it a little bit, like 30 minutes or whatever. But again, it's like that's only if you're wanting to fast. It's only if you're wanting to do intermittent fasting. But I just know a lot of people that will go so long without eating because they're like, oh, I'm doing a good thing. I'm trying to lose weight or whatever. And then it almost always backfires at night. And that's why like night eating is a big problem. I do the same thing. But yeah, that was a long-winded answer, but I'm glad you brought that up. We should do an
I
episode
took you
on
kind
fasting.
of off track.
No,
I love it.
you're good.
Question.
Okay, so the questions I wanted to say which this actually fits in really well. So one, I wanted to ask, have you guys ever struggled with emotional eating, or maybe you can talk about your experience with that? I know you touched on it the last episode as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny. After we record these live shows, I go home and I reflect on everything that I said later. And I'm like, do I agree with what I said? Is what I said true? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You say it and then I'm like, maybe I would have said it in a different way. It's kind of like when you review a conversation you had with somebody and then you
1000%.
review it. So I think this is one thing that I reflected on. Do I think about calories and feel like I have to make it up later? That was one thing I was thinking about. And this is another one I was reflecting on. When I emotional eat, what does that look like for me? So I think for me, I am more of a social eater where it's not so much, I don't think, now I need to write more to recognize this probably, not like I'm stressed so I'm going to eat, but like, this is so fun, we're together. I have to eat so much because this is so fun.
Yeah.
Let's just up the dopamine.
Yeah. Or like, oh my gosh, it's like Easter and I need to eat pastel things on Easter. So I'm gonna have all
the societal rules behind it too.
Yeah, it's like for me, it's the fun and the celebration and the social connection. So like if I already had dinner at 6:30 and my dear husband loves to have dinner at 9, and I'm like, well, we're bonding because we're sitting chewing together, which why is that even a bonding thing? It's so weird. But I'm like, I need to eat again, so it's kind of interesting. I think that's one thing as we talked about before with GLP-1 for me is like, well, I ate dinner and I'm not hungry.
It was
but
just
like I
to
feel like
do
I
it
need
with
to eat.
him.
So anyway,
Yeah.
I think for me it kind of turns more into social, but I'm curious to write down some things and see if there's some more emotional there that I'm not recognizing.
Yeah, when I'm stressed, I stop eating. That's really what I do. That's why I asked the question earlier, because if I'm feeling it, honestly, now that I'm talking, I wonder if it depends on the emotion for me, because when I'm stressed, I stop eating. But if I'm sad, I want to get a good meal.
Yeah, a comfort food.
Yeah, yeah. Like, yeah. I was going to say one other thing about it. Oh, I'm very much like you, where I like to, like, a movie equals popcorn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or like, oh, podcasting, we should go to Starbucks before. Like, there's like these
The ingrained, like, yes.
dopamine hits, but it's social. And I actually, you probably are going to want to touch on this because it's such a big thing, but I very much used to more so struggle with like distracted eating, where I couldn't just sit with myself and eat.
Yes, that's me.
Yeah, I like had to have my phone on or a movie on or
YouTube or
be on a FaceTime call or listen to a podcast. Like I'm going to maximize this time of eating, but then I'm not actually
enjoying
my food. Yeah.
Yes. You guys brought up both such good topics. Like, please, let's also put a pin in these topics and expand on them in other episodes as well. Yeah. But holy cow.
Wait, I have one more.
Yes, yeah.
And I have to put this out because this is a big one for me. After I had my hysterectomy at 34, this is so TMI podcast. I feel like I'd be like, Janae Moss got it.
People say a lot of crazy stuff.
It's weird because we're just...
That I realized I was so tired because for 2 years before I had my hysterectomy, I had a 2-year-long period. Mm-hmm. And I had fibroids and I never stopped having my period. So I was tired. My iron was non-existent and I couldn't even walk to the top of the stairs without leaning over and laying on the ground and breathing. And I remember my kids being like, Mom, what's wrong? I'm like, I just got to breathe for a minute. And it was literally because my iron was so low, I couldn't even function. Mm. And by the time I got my surgery, they had to give me multiple bags of blood just to bring me to the level that I could get a surgery.
Wow.
And so, but the reason I bring this up is because I started noticing that for the first time in my life, I was eating carbs more than I ever had because I was so tired.
The energy.
I was so tired. I couldn't function. And so I'm like, I need this carb and this carb. And I would crave sweets, which I'm not even a sweet craver, really. So looking back, I'm like, energy is a big one. And so if you're not getting the sleep as a new mom or an older mom, or you're not even a mom, if you're not getting sleep, you're tired, you're reaching for those calories to fill. And then if you're not getting your protein, like you're saying, you're just eating even more carbs to fill that.
Yep.
So anyway, that's a big one for me. Probably energy and social is probably my biggest.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have one more too, but do you have something to say to hers?
I can say it after. You're good.
Okay. Convenience is big for me.
Oh yeah.
Like having something that I can grab and eat because I'm usually doing lots of things or leaving the house. And like, if I leave the house, I just don't eat. And so I've learned to start trying to pack a bag, but then that has to backtrack and buy things at the store that are like nutritionally helping my body. And so it's like, there's a process to eating healthy and it doesn't always look like meal prep, but it also looks like going to the store and picking the things. Yeah. So I actually my tip is don't ever go to the store hungry.
Oh, 1,000%. I literally buy like twice as much food when I do that.
And it's like, oh, it's fine. Oh, no. Okay, I'll for sure eat that.
It's a real thing.
Yeah, like I try not to go to the store hungry for sure.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you guys literally brought up so many good things. Like I want to dive into all of them because there's so many things I could talk about, but I really want to also talk about them and others. Okay, let me think. Mom, when it comes to social eating and stuff, that's a huge thing. So many people, I don't even want to say like struggle with, but it's a thing.
It's culturally a thing.
It's culturally a thing. So that's something I had to work through and notice, and I know there's other people I've talked to that actually might listen to this that have struggled with this, is you need to check into your own body. And there were times that like I love Dad to death. He's the greatest person ever. But I would tell him like, hey, I'm not hungry. And then he would still buy me food because it is that social thing. And then I felt guilty and I would have to say like, no, Dad, I'm really not going to eat that. And then I felt like so much shame and guilt, even though like he probably didn't even think about it as much as I thought about it. And there's so many things like that where it's like, oh, if you go to someone's house and there's a party and you don't eat the birthday cake because you don't want it, and they're like, oh, we'll have some. It's like, I actually think the boundary thing is a big deal. And you need to know what's best for yourself and stick to it, because it's so ingrained into society that people will want to give you extra food. And hopefully they won't like take offense if you say no, but you also have to know like, hey, they might take offense to that and that's not yours to hold. But there were multiple times like I had struggled with that and my parties and all of my friends going out to eat, even though I already like made my meal. Like it is such a thing, and we should talk about that way more on like what you can do and how you can help and how you can still have fun, obviously, with your friends and enjoy like being out with your family and friends and whatever.
But it's okay to be the person that doesn't get the ice cream.
Exactly.
Or doesn't eat all the food on their plate.
On their plate.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that's so much to do with kind of checking in with yourself as you're with other people and saying, hey, do I actually like want to eat this? And I'm not saying you, but you brought up a good point of like, yeah, like am I actually hungry? Am I even wanting this type of food, or is it more like a fun thing? Because if it's a fun thing, then maybe engage with other activities that have to do with that or whatever. And that's something I still work on, like to this day. Not even work on, but just focus on sometimes. Oh my gosh, there's so many things. What did you say? You said
don't go to the store hungry.
Don't go to the store hungry. That's such a good one. I think again, it all comes back to like checking in with yourself to know what you need. Oh, you also said the distracted eating. That's a huge one. So anyways, I'm going to look back at this episode and be like, oh, that's an episode topic. That's an episode. So the listeners, stay tuned for that. But
if you struggle with any of the topics we talked about or something came up for you, please comment it or just message us privately, because we're talking to you and we want our episodes to be tailored to you, and let this be a two-way conversation.
1000%. Yes. And on top of that, we also have a free kind of day guide. It's the Mind, Body, Spirit guide. It's things that we do every single day to feel good and lively. That is you can get a download for free in the show notes below. Geez, I could not say that. But yeah, we love it. We put it together, and yeah, I still look at it every single day or I have a screenshot of it. Anyways.
Are you wrapping up?
Yes.
Can I share one tip?
Yeah, so I was going to ask this question, which kind of leads into tips. Cool. Okay, so I just want to talk about, like, as we're talking about food and all these things, like, what are your guys' favorite meals that will make you feel, like, nourished and good? Does that make sense?
Go first. Yeah.
Maybe, like, an easy meal that people can make, whatever. It's up to you.
Easy.
Well, okay, maybe not easy. Just answer.
Okay, so
just answer the question.
I mean, it's easy now that I do it all the time.
Yes,
but
makes sense.
Okay, I have two. One, I start my day off with Medical Medium's heavy metal detox smoothie every day. And we just like stock up on the spirulina and the wild blueberries and the stuff that's in it, and it's just like habit. And I actually really think that helps with eating healthy, is having like your staples of like, I start my day with this.
Yes.
I always have this, and it just kind of like takes out some of the food like process that you have to like think through what you're going to eat in a day. But Cam, my go-to meal is always steam some potatoes and then throw in a ton of fresh veggies like peppers, cucumbers, all of it, and just eat a bowl of potatoes and veggies, so you're getting...
It's honestly so good. And cottage cheese. You guys eat cottage cheese with that sometimes?
I haven't, but I will.
That's like my favorite.
Really?
Sweet potato with cottage cheese on top.
Oh, yeah.
With cinnamon and a little bit of honey.
Wow.
Okay.
Fire.
I've done it with red pepper flakes and honey.
No.
Sounds like a dessert.
It literally tastes like a dessert, and it has like protein in it. It's great. Anyways.
Cool, that's mine.
Wait, what's the protein?
The cottage cheese.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking of potato. I was like, wait, cottage cheese. I did know that. Okay. Well, I'm not great at this, so I'll tell you something I am good at. I love having pre-made soup in my fridge, whether I make it or somebody else helps me make it. There's one that I eat that's just literally chicken. It's the rotisserie chicken from the store, that's already cooked. And then it just has tons of vegetables in it, like carrots, squash, like all the things. And it's literally just water-based. And it's so basic. And I put a little like salt and pepper in it.
Yeah.
And that's it. But I love just knowing it's there, so that when I have not prepared, which is typical, I can go in and like warm it up pretty quickly. And, and I have something that's like has protein, nutritious, and I think it's good.
There's that.
So many good ones. I mean, you can buy curry seasoning and put it in vegetables. And then it tastes like curry. Like, that you don't have to think too much about, but it's already, like, made.
That's cool.
Yes. I think, actually, maybe I'll put this as my tip instead of meals. Something that helps me, and obviously it's still prep, but something that helps me so much is having staple meals with the staple meats that I use, okay? And then just making that meat for, like, probably, like, half the week, because obviously sometimes it doesn't last the whole week, but, like, so let's say I have chicken. I know for a fact I will make like, let's say 4 chicken breasts, whatever. Usually I cube them up, doesn't matter, at the beginning of the week or whenever. But what's so nice is once I store it, I know that, okay, the first rotation, I literally heat up some veggies with chicken and put teriyaki sauce on it. That's it. And then the second day for a meal is, oh, I will heat up tortillas and do chicken on tortillas with store-bought salsa. Like, pretty basic, but it's like still chicken. The third day, I will almost always do a berry salad with chicken. So I'll literally just cut up the stuff, have the chicken prepared. So I always talk about, like, you don't have to prepare the full meal, like a full meal prep. The best thing to do is prepare the meats for it. Obviously, if you eat meat, and then rotate your staple meals that you know you will always have. Like, I know I will always have like veggies and teriyaki sauce in my fridge.
That's
and it's so easy.
A great tip. Now my question is, how long does the chicken stay good? I think at
That's what I was
about
saying.
3 days, I'm like,
yes, it's like probably like half a week. So I'll probably buy, I mean, it kind of depends on if my husband's home, Preston's home, whatever. But so like, I'll buy probably 2 different types of meats. So like, I'll just have like chicken for the first, and then I'll cook, which like, this is ground beef. Like, I'll cook ground beef for like the second half, which ground beef, I know some people don't like it, but like, it's so easy to make. You literally just mash it up. Like, there's nothing to it whatsoever. So then literally the next half of the week is, okay, I have ground beef. I eat like so whole food and like simple, and some people like will think this is disgusting, but it's so good. Ground beef and eggs. It's actually really good. I love it. So I'll do like ground beef and eggs, honestly, for dinner, because I don't mind having like more breakfast food for dinner. Then I'll do, let's see, what do I eat with ground beef? I'll do like another taco night, but with ground beef instead of chicken. Like, it doesn't have to be I don't have like any gourmet whatever. It's literally ground beef on a tortilla with cheese and some salsa. Like, nothing crazy. But again, it's just like the rotating of, oh, Press and I, we love tacos. Oh, Press and I, we love teriyaki bowls. Like, that's our 2. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, those are great tips. I love that.
Yeah. I guess it's not really answering the favorite meals that make you feel nourished, present, whatever. But
I feel like it is.
Good tip.
Good. So yeah, that's my tips, but I also know that Kinley has another tip, and this has helped so much with everything, and this is really why I wanted to talk about this so much, is because of this tip. So
Do you do it before I say what it is?
not often, but ever since I started writing before my eating, I've been like, oh, I need to do that.
Okay.
So it's brought me back, but
Okay.
like, I get so distracted that
Then this is the challenge for all of us this week, is to try to do this at least once. I think I was I don't know if I was just meditating or what, but I created the word meditating.
it's so good though.
So instead of meditating, you're meditating while eating, and it doesn't matter what you're eating, but you just put away your distractions. Mm-hmm. You focus on your senses, the smell, the color, the taste. There's actually meditations that you can like have an orange, and you meditate on the orange for an hour. And this is not my tip, but it taught me a lot. And I think that's where I came up with the idea of meditating, where you'll get the orange and you'll literally meditate on the orange for an hour. There's no guideline. It's not, okay, you have to eat it by the end. It's just you hold the orange and you meditate. And it is mind-blowing. And if you haven't done it, I think you should try it, even if it's for like 10 minutes, just to meditate on an orange, because you see so much more. You smell so much more. You appreciate it so much more. And I think that doing that meditation led me to want to do meditating, because it helped me be present with my food. And then I knew when to stop eating too. So I actually enjoyed the whole process, tasted it, smelled it, appreciated the farmers that farmed the food. Like, there's you would be surprised how much comes to your awareness when you do it.
For sure.
And how many times you want to grab your phone, or, oh, I forgot to vacuum, or, oh, I forgot this. Like, it's really insightful. So, yeah.
I love how you said it doesn't matter what you're eating, because
Yeah, it could be Taco Bell.
Exactly. Like, I think this practice is just to be present with the food, especially so you know, like, when you're full and how you're feeling when you're eating it. And like, it does not matter. This is not like you have to have a salad and eat it or whatever. Like, I just love the process of it. And I wish more people in the true like fitness community brought tools like that to their side to be present.
That's
Yeah.
why we have you.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I love all of the places that this went because there's seriously, I know I said this, there's so many things to talk about. So yeah, and as the listener, I really would encourage you to either do the writing or the meditating or whatever, or just use a little bit more of your senses when it comes to eating. And have more fun with it and think about food as fuel for your beautiful, wonderful life and all of the ways and places that your body's going to take you with the food that you are enjoying. So, yeah, until next time, bye.